Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cat Yaps podcast. Since this seems to be something you guys like a lot, I will try my best to film it more often. I actually already filmed this, but when I did, currently I have an ear infection. I did not know what was wrong with my ear. I couldn't hear out of my ear, and I had an ear infection, and I just started taking medicine for that, so I'm redoing this. Maybe it'll be a little more put together and polished, because when I tried to do this, it was all over the place, but now I kind of know what I want to say. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite things recently. I was gonna do monthly favorites, but some of these things, I get into a habit where, like, for example, if I like a certain song or an album, I'll consume it for like maybe 2 weeks straight, and then I move on to something else and I forget about it, and then I come back to it. That's usually how it goes. That's the autistic hyperfixation at play. But this is just going to be some of my recent favorites over the past few months or so. And the first kind of category I'm going to talk about is music related. I may put, I don't know how many of you guys just watch this, like just listen to it, but I try not to add sound effects or anything if people are just listening to it, but for the sake of talking about these specific albums or whatnot, I may put a little image to the side of what I'm speaking about. But the first album I kind of want to go over is by Olivia Rodrigo, and it's her Guts album. I was not like I'm not really a fan of celebrities anymore, if you get what I mean, but I wasn't a huge fan of her first album. There's some songs I like on there, it's just the whole album is not quite my taste. It's not something I listen to a lot. However, I decided to listen to her album Guts, and I have it saved on my Spotify. I probably replayed that a lot. I actually really like that album. I think it's mostly a no-skip album. There's only one song. I think it's Girl I've Always Been. I have it in my liked songs now, but she kind of sings with like a country accent, and I don't know the context behind that, so it's a little jarring to me when I listen to it with the rest of the album. It's pretty much a no-skip album, and my favorite song is Bad Idea, Right? I like fun pop albums, and that's exactly what this is, and it has some slower ballads, and there's kind of some tea, some drama, some speculation about what certain songs, who she wrote them for. Wink wink. So that's pretty interesting. They're not all breakup songs, at least in the sense of romantic heartbreak, so. But I try to not I don't like music that has like explicit words or topics. I wouldn't say Olivia sings about anything like explicit. She does swear quite a bit more in this album, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but besides that, I really enjoy it. I don't know what it is. Feels like teen punk rock, and I'm like, I didn't realize I could enjoy that genre that much. I don't know if that's the correct way to describe it. That's the kind of vibe I get when I listen to it, but I'm not like someone who's well educated about musical genres and such. However, I really, really like this album. There's so many bangers on here. That's the best way to put it. There's so many bangers. And so many songs that like genuinely tug at my heartstrings. She's got a good way of making you want to dance, and then in the next song, it makes you want to cry. Actually, right now, I'm wearing a Guts t-shirt, a Guts tour t-shirt. I've never been to her tour or anything. Like I said, I'm not real big on celebrities and celebrity culture, but I enjoy this album quite a bit. It's very fun. I would recommend it. Another artist that I've started listening to is the Lana Del Rey. I don't know a lot about Lana Del Rey. I know she's like the poster girl of Tumblr aesthetic girlies in 2014. She's got that timeless kind of look to her. But I started listening to some of her music, and her album Born to Die, I think, is genuinely one of the best pieces of music I've ever heard. Like, I've started listening to some of her other albums, but they do not hit like that album does. I don't know what she put in that thing, but it's just, I am addicted. It kind of reminds me of Amelie/Monarch's debut album. She was a cover artist, and now she's like a VTuber. And her debut album is called Rise of the Monarch, which I love, by the way. There's maybe like one song that I don't really listen to, but I love sound of that album. I don't know what the words would be to describe that accurately. This Lana album kind of reminds me of that, and I think the best way that I can phrase it is that it has an almost theatrical sound to it, a really grand, theatrical, ethereal, dreamlike vibe when you listen to it, if that makes sense. Like if you listen to a song from both of those albums, you could probably understand what I'm trying to say. I just don't know how to put it into words. This album is so good, and Lana sings a little bit more about not real in detail, but a little bit more about her romantic escapades, I'll put it that way. It's not something that makes me like really cringe or whatever, you know. It just feels like when Lana sings about being in love, you can tell she really feels it. Like, a lot of people can write love songs and there's no emotion behind it, but when she sings about being in love, it's like you can feel it. You can feel exactly what she's singing about. You're feeling her feelings, and she sounds very authentic when she sings. She has a really pretty voice, and she can kind of change it up a little bit depending on what she's singing. She can make herself sound like extra breathy and playful, and I just love that she kind of experiments with her voice too. It's iconic. How else can I say it? She is just iconic. My favorite song from that album is Diet Mountain Dew. It's a bop. It's not like real poppy, but it's not too slow either. It's like right in the middle. And it just sounds like a song that you would put on in the car with all your windows rolled down and just having a good time. That's the kind of song I would blast in my car. It's so catchy. It really is. And I don't know. I just like this album. That's my thoughts. I love this album. But I've been listening to some of her more popular music. You know, Summertime Sadness is a part of this album. And I've listened to Young and Beautiful, and she's got some talent, man, and I love her style. There's been recent pictures of her attending, what is it, Paris Fashion Week or something, and that purple dress she wore, gorgeous. That's what I want to look like. That's the glow up I want. If I put in the effort, I can give off Lana Del Rey vibes. That's what I want. But yeah, if people say she's overrated, I don't care. At least that album is right up my alley, and I just want more of that, please. And on the topic of music, this is kind of a strange one, but I've been really enjoying songs from Twisted Wonderland, and if you don't know what that is, it's a mobile game created by Disney. I don't know how to like properly summarize it. Maybe I can look up a synopsis. But it was originally just for Japan, and then it was localized in English, and it's getting an anime and everything. And I'm just gonna read it like it from the wiki, so I don't go on like a 5 minute tangent trying to explain this to you. But Disney Twisted Wonderland is a Japanese mobile game created by Aniplex and Walt Disney Japan. Yano Toboso, creator of Black Butler, which I've never watched, but she's in charge of the original plan, main script, and character designs, which are inspired by Disney villains from various franchises. And then the main plot is that but you, get it? You, whose name can also be chosen by the player, is summoned to another world by a magic mirror and arrives at a magical school, Night Raven College. The school's headmaster takes in the main character. You becomes acquainted with the school's top students, each in 7 different dormitories, each based on a different Disney villain while searching for a way home. And in each of these dormitories, you have one student who is very clearly based off of a Disney villain. But yeah, each different dorm is based off of a different villain. You have Insomnia, which is based off of Maleficent, and all the characters in that dorm have black and green clothing and all that. And the main character of that dorm, the dorm leader, is Malice. Get it? Malice? Maleficent? I think he's supposed to be related to Maleficent, actually, but... And then, like, one dorm, like, for example, one of them is Savannah Claw, and the main character of that dorm, the dorm leader, is Leona, who is based off of Scar, so that whole dorm is focused around Scar. And each of the characters is supposed to kind of look like their villain counterpart, let me put it that way. And there's also a thing in the game where every time they use magic, it forms like an ink blot. They have a little magical pen with like a magical gem, and every time they use magic, it forms a ink blot. I don't know if that's just every time they use magic or when they use it when they're having negative feelings, but if they keep using their magic, like if they start to go crazy, this is basically the main thing across every dorm. You'll go to each dorm, one student, the one that looks like the Disney villain, is going to start having a mental breakdown. They're going to use too much magic. They're going to have too much ink on that magical crystal, and then they overblot. Blotting like having too much ink. So they overblot, and then they have a villain transformation. So usually it's like the main. I'm going on a long tangent trying to explain the music, but I gotta explain the plot before I explain the music. Then it'll make sense. But normally it's the dorm leader that is the quote unquote overblotter. But I think the only exception, if I remember correctly, is in Scarabia. Callum, and this is based off of Jafar. Callum is supposed to be like the Sultan. While Callum is the dorm leader, Jamil is the one who actually ends up overblotting. So they usually just call them the overblotters because not every dorm leader ends up having like a mental breakdown. But going into the music part now, they have the characters sing a lot. They have a version where the characters sing the main opening song, and they also have some events where the characters often sing. But for Twisted Wonderland's anniversary, I don't know if it was like, it's for one of the, I don't know how many years, but it's another anniversary for Twisted Wonderland. They had a whole big thing where they had every dorm, every class of students, they had all the boys sing a song for each different dorm. And every song is supposed to be related to the villain that the dorm is based off of. Like the very first one is Heartslebule, and you have Riddle, who's based off of the Queen of Hearts, and the whole dorm sings a song that is kind of related to the villain in some way or related to their dorm leader. So each dorm of students, and there's 7 of them, has their own like group song. And then, as if that wasn't good enough, and there's some bangers. Some of those songs are bangers, I'm telling you. Especially, I think it's called Far Out. It's from the Scarabia dorm. It's sung by Jamil and Callum's voice actors. Best song. Best song, by the way. Absolute banger. But after that, they had another 7 songs come out, but this time it was the Overblotters. So it was a solo song, and I believe it's based off of their feelings. It's based off of their feelings right before they overblot. It's kind of explaining what's happening inside of them, how they're feeling before they have like their villain transformation, and then you have to, knock the crap out of them so they can cut it out. They don't go on a rampage. You have to beat them up, but it's okay. It's for the greater good. So that's 7 group songs and then 7 solo songs. These Japanese voice actors make me feel so talentless, because how the heck do you act and you sing? And then oftentimes they sing so well that they go on like tours, sold out tours in big arenas. And it's just like, how the frick do you have talent to act and sing? And one of the voice actors for Malice, actually, he acts and he sings, and he was on Broadway as a Phantom in Phantom of the Opera. And I could tell he has a song from an event he sings with 2 of the other characters, and he has a song that he sings called Make a Wish, and I could tell listening to that, I'm like, this guy has to be Broadway trained, because at that point I was listening to a lot of Broadway music for some reason. I've never seen Broadway or anything, and I've never been to Broadway, but as listening to a lot of the music, I'm like, this man has technique. He's not just a normal singer. And sure enough, this guy voices the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera, and I'm like, okay, King, pop off. He's got some pipes. He can sing, man. But I think my favorite solo songs, I like Malice's, but in a weird turn of events, Idia, who is based off of Hades from Hercules, his song is so good, but it was such like a shock when I first heard it, because he's rapping, and Idia's supposed to be, I haven't watched a playthrough of his dorm yet, but he talks in like gamer slang. He doesn't like to, he's basically like, just kind of like a weeb that likes to stay shut in and play games and doesn't like to talk to people, and it's like, same. Same. And he's supposed to be kind of like cringe, but so hearing this guy start rapping is like, it's a little bit of a culture shock, but he can rap. He can rap really fast. I'm surprised. And it's him like rapping, and then the beat starts to kick in, and it just it makes me feel like I am at an idol concert, like a J-pop idol concert, and I have like a light stick and I'm like waving it in the air as they're like singing. That's what I feel like when I listen to this song. I need to buy a light stick just so I can wave it as I'm listening to this because it's such a banger. It sounds like something they'd have in the club. It's so good. And I was so surprised. It's like nobody was expecting Idiot to rap. It was like, what the heck? But go off, pop off, King. And the other solo song I'm listening to a lot is Red Heart Rage, sung by Riddle, who's based off of the Queen of Hearts. It's just him slowly getting angrier and angrier over the course of the song. It's just so satisfying. I don't know why, but it's so satisfying to hear him almost go insane. He's like, some of the lyrics are he's basically becoming like the queen, and that he's becoming a tyrant. He's saying freedom is obedience, trepidation is repose. Kneel before me, basically. It's what he's saying. And it's just, it's good. It's good. I like hearing him start to slowly go insane. These songs have no business being that good, but trust me, listen to the production, the vocals, you'll see what I mean. Absolutely amazing. And they have a song. Oh my gosh, some of the characters. There's a canon event where some of the characters are participating in a dancing and singing competition, and they sing a song called Absolutely Beautiful. So good. And they have another song where they're doing a cover of This Is Halloween, because they have like a Nightmare Before Christmas event, and they sing This Is Halloween, and I always had that on repeat. It's so good. Why are they such good singers? I love that Japanese VAs are like a two-in-one package because they can almost always act and they can sing. Even Attack on Titan, no, that's actually good music too. Attack on Titan even has some solo songs for the characters. And, Levi's my favorite. If you think he's overrated, I don't care. Levi's my favorite for many reasons, and I wish he wasn't so traumatized by Isayama, the author. Like, why do you have to traumatize him? But anyway, he has a really good solo song. It's basically like a Japanese version of the song that plays when he first shows up, Reluctant Heroes, and it's like the Japanese version, but they had him sing in like a lighter tone, kind of like closer to his voice actor's usual tone of voice, and it's so beautiful. He has such a pleasant voice. And then if you like the regular Levi voice, there's like a spin-off, which I haven't seen, but there's a spin-off of Attack on Titan, and there's a part where Levi comes in on a stage and he just starts singing, and I have almost this complete song memorized. It's that good. He's got two songs from the spin-off and that he's singing in like his Levi voice, and this man has so much talent. He's got so much talent. I love that about Japanese voice actors, that they can sing and act. They just deliver. They deliver every time. And Attack on Titan has really good songs. I like Reluctant Heroes. Barricades is a fan favorite. When they played it again in season 4, the last one, everybody went crazy. They're like, oh my gosh, it's Barricades. DOA is like an all English song, and it slaps so hard. It is so good. I need more people to talk about that. And of course, UC Big Girl is another one. It's like entirely in German. I don't know how to pronounce German words, but have I learned the lyrics to this song? Yes. Attack on Titan has good music. The Apothecary Diaries, that first opening, Like a Flower. Oh my god. None of the other openings have hit like that one. I said what I said. You just can't replicate. You cannot replicate how good that song was. But I think this video is getting a little bit long, so before I tire out my voice too much, we're going to end the episode here. But let me know your thoughts on everything that I talked about. I only covered one topic. Wait, I had a list of topics. I only covered one topic. I'll just say my recent music favorites is my thumbnail or my video title or something. Oh man. I get so distracted. This really is the Cat Yaps podcast. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. and I will bring you a new episode of the Cat Yaps podcast very soon. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye.